Your Excellency, Honourable Ministers, perhaps it is fitting that this is one of the very first contracts that we have been able to sign in a sitting like this, because it reflects the partnership that was brought out the birth of the RDA, a partnership between the government of the British Virgin Islands and the UK government for the recovery and development of the territory. So it is indeed fitting, Honourable Ministers and Your Excellency, that today we see that coming together when we see the United Kingdom government contributing some much needed funds for the recovery. Today we are here to sign two contracts that will foster and further the development of the territory, that will strengthen the strengthening of the VHF communications for police, security, and the DDM, and also a contract that is going to be extremely important in that it will help us in the planning of a better marine environment, with a marine survey to inform planning and environmental protection. These two much needed projects are something that the work of the RDA has been championing and positioning, and I'm pleased, Your Excellency, and I'm pleased, Honourable Ministers, that today we see the first fruits of this partnership. Also, as the Chairman of the RDA, we want to welcome our new ministers to their positions and to assure them of the RDA's utmost support for their efforts, and to pledge that we will do our utmost to make sure that the recovery becomes a reality and that we see a stronger, better, and greener BVI for the future. Your Excellency, I don't think you have anything you want to say.
Thank you very much, Chair of the RDA, and once again, also welcome to the Ministers. I'm very pleased you were able to join today. As the Chair has said, this is just one small step. Someone said that once before, so I won't finish the rest of the quote. But it's a small step, but actually an important step, because part of what the RDA has been about, and part of what in totality our recovery and our development has been about, is about a strong sense of partnership, a partnership across all ministries, first off, a partnership with the community, a partnership with the RDA, and a partnership with the UK government, as well as others who've supported us since the storms of 2017. The United Kingdom, since 2017, has supported the territory with a significant amount of funding and practical support. Initially, about $80 million was given to the three most affected overseas territories in 2017 through various humanitarian, military, security, infrastructure support. A further about $17 million came to BVI to do our first stage of recovery, in a way, getting the basics going with the ministries, things like getting the lights back on with teams that came to help, supporting on technical infrastructure on areas such as water, sewage networks, support to some critical agencies, and support to some of the most vulnerable people in society through a cash programme, as well as through support to housing. The third stage of the support is what's moving forward today, which is, as people are aware, the UK government has offered a loan guarantee of £300 million, over $400 million, to help BVI move from recovery into long-term development, allowing access to cheaper capital, saving many, many millions of dollars to help boost the recovery and the development at pace through a strong structure with the RDA and in close partnership with the ministries. Alongside that, the UK government has provided grant funding, an additional £10 million, approaching about, what exchange rate are we on today, about $14 million, to support the Recovery and Development Agency. And then we come on to specific projects. And today is about two of those specific areas, and two quite critical ones, but also ones that symbolise, as the Chair has said, a strong sense of partnership, but also that strong sense of moving from recovery into development, building back in a better way. So to have our VHF, our critical radio network, established for the key agencies in a way that is more resilient and takes us into a more secure place in the future, as a partnership of funding from the government funding and from UK funding together to make it work. Secondly, then, the funding for the Marine Survey project builds on work already done. We had a hydrographic team here who were mapping some of the seabed, work that the ministry has done already to help further look and survey our marine areas, but most importantly, help the ministry and help through the RDA's work think through how we maximise the incredible marine assets that we have. How do we protect? How do we nurture? How do we build stronger economy? How do we build an ocean plan, in a way, around this, which I know the Ministry and the RDA are doing work on. So two small areas, but part of actually big steps forward for our recovery and our development, and a strong partnership between the United Kingdom and the British Virgin Islands. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Governor Jaspers, Minister for Health and Communications, Honorable Carvin Malone, Chairman McTavius of the RDA. It's a real pleasure being here today. And I want to first really thank the UK for their continued partnership in assisting the BVI through its recovery and now into its development. This marine survey is incredibly important to the BVI because it allows the BVI to make a very important step towards moving from an EFZ to an EEZ. Now, the implication for that is, it gives the territory a whole new dimension for entrepreneurship and for development. Because right now we only have access to like the seabed, but when you go into the EEZ, we get the whole water column, we get the fish, and we get the control, that spatial element of the territory's boundaries, which go some 200 nautical miles. So I'm really, really pleased to see this development taking place at this particular point in our development, because it's going to springboard the territory into a whole new area of business that previously was totally inaccessible to us. So I just want to thank all of you all for coming, and I thank the FCO for its continued support, and look forward to seeing even a lot more of this kind of partnerships going forward. This is also going to pave the way for the environmental bill that has been worked on like forever. That's most important, because in the BVI, we're all about environment. Without the environment, you have nothing. So this may seem like a simple survey. It's really the fundamental thing that needs to happen at this point in time for a lot of other things to take place afterwards. So again, thank the FCO and the Governor for helping us achieve this significant thing in our history. Thank you.
I can safely say that I adopt and associate myself with each of the remarks made by the Honorable Minister, as he is keenly aware of some of the activities that we have. But to build the VHF capacity so that DDM, on the other hand, can have all of the components necessary as we enter the month of June, and actually hurricane season is coming through, I think that we would welcome that, number one. We have an aggressive roof development program, so I'm sure that this is just the beginning of the work that we will collaborate on. And I think that from the ministry's point of view, while we get our hands around the core topics, we know that we have to refuel this plane in air, because we have to keep going, because every time it rains, we are reminded of what we have to do. So I can only say thank you very much again for the partnership. I am intimately familiar with the works that the UK have done in the construct of a temporary, well, let's say it's temporary, of a magistrate's court. There's nothing temporary about that. And I think that the fine works that we'll do from time to time, we will do whatever we have to in making sure that the works are done, and they're done on time, and the new buzzwords, transparently and accountable at all facets. Thank you very much.
You're going to fill in the blank.